Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
The time is right. The world is ready. You are going to experience literally Paramashiva. Most powerful, intangible but definitive, intense processes. This is the most powerful spiritual nuclear explosion, the strong force of Kailasa landing on planet Earth directly. One thing I can be sure, you will not exist end of the program. I can guarantee that. Only Paramashiva will be there.
I welcome all of you, the whole world, to come and celebrate, enjoy not only the enlightenment ecosystem, the beauty of how it is getting revived. Be an insider for this great revival process. If you are an insider even for a startup company, you will understand not only the result of the company, even that being an insider is such a joy. Being an insider when it was happening is something extraordinary. So, I welcome all of you to come and be part of an insider of this revival of Kailasa, the enlightenment ecosystem, sovereign order of Kailasa, Kailasa nation itself. I request and welcome, invite all of you to become e-Kailasian. Get your free e-passport and make billions receive this free e-passport. What I mean by the word KAILASA, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to KAILASA, it's okay. KAILASA can come to you. KAILASA coming to you is KAILASA. KAILASA is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Modern science says that all that exists, whether manifest or unmanifest, is a probability. Infinite probabilities create a quantum field of infinite potential. An observer collapses the probability wave into a particle. Your intention thus creates the reality. Called the observer effect, it is the very act of observation that precipitates any reality into existence. Hinduism is far advanced than this primitive understanding in the modern day. Hindus know this field of infinite potential as Paramashiva. Paramashiva permeates.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest
Call the observer.
the powers of Mahasannidhanam.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
नित्यं विमलमचलं
Om Nithyananda
भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyananda. Welcome each and every one of you sitting here with us on Nithyananda TV, KAILASA's official TV channel. Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, has taken the enormous responsibility to revive and bring back the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. As a part of that effort, Swamiji has been working continuously for the past 26 years to create the KAILASA nation, the only Hindu nation. As a part of Swamiji's revival, he is not only giving political legitimacy and spiritual legitimacy to Hinduism, but he is also making Hinduism user-friendly for modern era and for people of today's society. He is decoding the ancient techniques, scriptures, powerful cognitions, thought currents, and making it applicable for man in today's world. As a part, one of those techniques is the Vakyatasatas. Vakyatasatas is fundamentally where the Kandana and Mandana of the logic happens. The Kandana and Mandana mean where your logic breaks and new logic grows. So let us take a look here. Some of the facts regarding the Vakyatasatas. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. So the Vakyatasatas is a part of a four-step process to imbibe any truth. The first of the process, the first 25% of imbibing the truth happens when we listen to the truth from Master. It's more or less like when we consume food. When we intake it and it sits in our stomach, it sits inside us. That is the first 25%. And the second 25% happens when we do the manana, internalizing. We sit and contemplate about these great truths. And the third 25% happens in the Vakyatasatas, where the Kandana and Mandana, as we explained earlier, the breaking of the logic and the creation of new logic. The fourth 25% happens when we live these principles in our lives. So this is the four-step process, of which Vakyatasatas is one of them, in which is necessary to imbibe any of these truths. Next, now watch a small video. Swamiji himself explains the importance of why the Vakyatasatas is necessary.
Listen, listen. Manana, Vakyartha Sadas every day will give you a complete understanding. Not only that, please listen, every time when you keep these spiritual truths in your inner space, analyze them, think about them, contemplate on them, every moment you spend on internalizing these great truths, your incompletions melt down. You are living Advaita. Understand how much ever you struggle to find the solution externally, you will never find. You will never find the solution. What you expect externally. If you think, I'll finish all the work, I took it on myself or Swamiji gave it to me, and then I'll rest in peace. Never. Even after you leave the body, we have work for you. Understand, if you are expecting the external solution, no. You need to be told you are a fool. Wherever you really need to be told you are a fool, you should be told that is the real good thing for you. If you have some disease, you need to be told you have that disease. Only then you will understand the seriousness and start taking medication. Manana, internalizing, is really, really, really important. Because the life gets aligned to living Advaita with Manana. Shankara says beautifully, Shrute Shatagunam Vidyan Mananam Mananat Abhinitidhyasanam Lakshagunam Anantam Nirvigalpam. The meaning is Manana is 100 times superior to Shravana. Internalizing is 100 times superior to listening. And living is 100 times superior to internalizing. Nirvigalpa Samadhi, living Advaita, is infinitely superior. Please understand, you need to listen and internalize again and again and again. That is why I am insisting on Vakyartha Sadas. Even if there are 2-3 sannyasis in your ashram, start the Vakyartha Sadas. Slowly devotees will start gathering. Everywhere, in every ashram, every center, just like puja is compulsory, Vakyartha Sadas should become compulsory. More and more learning, more and more internalizing, more and more completion. Understand, other than the spiritual solution, there is no solution. How much ever you try to find any solution for any problem, whether it is personal, professional, organizational, intrapersonal, and interpersonal. Interpersonal is direct fight. Intrapersonal is cold war. You won't fight, but you will be waiting. See, it's like directly when you fight, it becomes like an equal fight. But I have seen many cunning fellows, they won't directly fight. They will wait. At some point, they will get that neutral person position. That time, they will use that position and attack.
When somebody else is attacking him, when he is fighting with somebody else, he is a neutral person. Now come on, use that and attack. Violence. How much ever you hide, how much ever you keep inside, and how much ever cunningly you plan, finally it is going to stink inside you, not anybody else. Whether it is interpersonal problem, intrapersonal problem, organizational problem, professional problem, or personal problem, the only way anything can be solved is spiritual solution. Vakyartha Sadas is the best way for a spiritual solution, discovering spiritual solution for any problem.
Yes, very beautifully Swamiji explained how for whatever the problem you may be facing in your life, be it spiritual, be it personal, professional, you name the problem, any solution can only be found when we look inside ourselves. Fundamentally, it is how we perceive life. And when we change the cognition of how life is perceived by us, naturally, the external factors, everything will change. Moving on. A guru-disciple relationship. We have been discussing very thoroughly about the guru-disciple relationship for the past couple of days. The guru-disciple relationship is the most beautiful relationship in the world. Relationship is so beautiful that the word relationship itself won't do any justice to the experience. It's like saying this: what is the relationship a drop of water from the ocean has with the ocean? That is the same experience, that is the same relationship a disciple has with the guru. With the Nithyananda celebrations going on, this is the perfect time and opportunity to remember and recollect our journey and social moments with our Guru, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji himself. Not only should we use this opportunity to remember and savor the sweetness of the Master, but also use this chance to re-strengthen our Guru Bhakti and integrity with the Guru. So here we have another. Previously, as we have discussed in the Vakyasatas, we have discussed the sweetness of the Guru-disciple relationship and why it is important for each and every one to have the Guru in their lives. We have shared our Parabhakti moments and stories with Swamiji and how the feeling connection with the Master was kindled. We've also discussed how the relationship with the Master is different from all the other relationships we have in our life. In previous Vakyasatas, we have also discussed how we fall into incompletion and how we can bring ourselves back to the space of Guru Bhakti. Today's Vakyasatas will be looking at something a little bit more different. So yesterday, as we had diagnosed the problems of what a seeker may initially go through in his journey to achieve the ultimate, what are the obstacles and what are the incompletions, and how to overcome those incompletions. Today, we are going to be looking a little bit more into how we can strengthen our Guru Bhakti. And one of the ways which we are going to look into today is how that strengthening can happen by listening to Puranic stories, by listening to the Guru-disciple relationships which have happened in the past. So first, before we continue, let's take us watch this video. Swamiji explains the importance and the legitimacy of the Hindu Puranas.
The reality you experience in your life starts in you as subjective truth. If you are experiencing richness now as your reality, this has started in you as a subjective truth at some time. If you are experiencing poverty in you as a reality now, it has started as a subjective truth in you at some time. Maybe the poverty would have started as an incompletion. I don't want to use the word subjective truth for it, because there is a difference between subjective truth and incompletion. Incompletion, by more and more remembrance, which makes you weak and expresses itself as reality. Subjective truth is, by remembering it, it makes you more and more stronger and expresses itself as reality. Understand? Whether incompletion or subjective truth, listen. Incompletion or subjective truth, by more remembrance it becomes reality. Anything which weakens you and makes itself reality is incompletion. Anything which strengthens you and makes itself as reality is subjective truth. By remembrance which binds you is incompletion. By remembrance which liberates you is subjective truth. Arunachala is the subjective truth. Because Smaranat Mukti, by remembrance liberation, by remembrance liberation, Smaranat Mukti, just by remembering anything that grows in you and strengthens itself and strengthens you and becomes reality. I tell you, all our Puranas are all subjective truth. When you say, when Puranas say, Krishna just picked up the whole Govardhana hill with his little finger, it is a truth for the people who want to live that. Stupid, insensitive minds can never understand that. Stupid, insensitive minds can never understand it. When I say, Arunagiri Yogeshwara appeared and gave me Kavi and initiated me, it is a subjective truth. It is truth for the people who want to live it. When I say, I gave the food and Ganesha ate, it is subjective truth. It is truth for the people who want to live it. Stupids cannot understand. And one thing, just because blind man can't see, don't say world does not exist. Just because stupids can't see, don't say the subjective truth does not exist. Puranas are not myths.
Yes. Beautifully Swamiji explained the legitimacy of the Hindu Puranas and epics. How Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, lifting the whole Govardhana hill on his little finger. How in Swamiji's own life, the miracles, the experiences which have happened, Arunagiri Yogeshwara giving Swamiji the Kavi from a natural plane, from Swamiji feeding Ganesha, from the stories of our Ramayana and Mahabharata, everything happens on the level of a subjective truth. When we decide to imbibe it, when we decide to believe in that, and when we decide that when it clicks with us, that story clicking with us becomes our subjective reality, our subjective truth. And when an experience or when a story becomes a subjective truth, then naturally it strengthens us and it helps us. It becomes a part of our cognition, and it helps us in spiritual growth. It helps us in identifying ourselves and bringing us more and more in oneness with Paramashiva. The topic of discussion for today. The question which we've placed before us today: when you listen to a story of a guru-disciple relationship, how are you also put into that space of Guru Bhakti? Which story has strengthened your Guru Bhakti the most personally? So this is the question we have. Let me read out the question again. When you listen to a story of a Guru Bhakti relationship, Guru-disciple relationship, how are you also put into that space of Guru Bhakti? Which story has strengthened your Guru Bhakti the most personally? So this is the question for today's Vakya Sutas. Now, before we enter into the Vakya Sutas, go ahead and take a few moments, introduce ourselves, who are joining us here with us on the panel, along with me, myself, Sri Nithya Mangalananda. We also have Sri Nithya Jnanatmananda, and we have Ezekiel Franco, both of them joining us from different parts of the world for today's Vakya Sutas. Thank both of you coming today for the Vakya Sutas, being a part of this discussion today. So, in a few words, let me go ahead and introduce myself. As I said, my name is Sri Nithya Mangalananda, and I'm Balsant of Nithyananda Gurukul. I joined the Gurukul back in 2012, and prior to that, I was born and brought up in the United States. This is a little bit about me. Now, Sri Nithya Jnanatmananda, you can go ahead and you can share a few words about yourself for all our viewers sitting here with us today. Please go ahead.
Nithyananda Maharaj, thank you. Nithyananda, everyone. Yes, my name is Sri Nithya Jnanatmananda. I'm an initiated disciple of Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and coming from Canada, and was living as a elementary school teacher and a computer engineering technologist earlier, and decided there had to be something. There was a bigger undercurrent. There was a lot of factors in children's lives and teachers' lives that weren't getting solved. That wasn't getting solved in the schools. So I started looking for why, and if there was a solution anywhere, if humans had ever recognized this before, and if so, what did they do? So it slowly led. I started doing some meditation in 2007, and I saw Swamiji on YouTube in 2008, and went to Inner Awakening in 2009, where I had the experience of the solution. So after searching for about 10 years, finally had the experience that life is real and it's possible to be free of sufferings and limitations. So yeah, that has grown till today, and now just focusing on what to do about the problems that the world is facing on a day-to-day basis, and building the space of powerfulness there, and what are the specific projects and how to execute, and just really, really, really learning how to really be an enlightened being, how to live as an enlightened being. So it's all Swamiji's initiation has given that possibility. So yeah, it's just been great. So thank you. Great to be here, Nithyananda.
Thank you so much. For joining us today. Next, we also have Murli joining from Chennai.
Yes, Nithyanandam.
Yes,
so my name is Ezekiel. I've known Swamiji for about 2 years now, I believe so. When I first got introduced to Swamiji, it was through YouTube. At the time, I was going through some inner world changing. I was really interested into exploring consciousness and the possibility of enlightenment. Actually, I remember the way things unfolded in my perspective was that I was in such a space where I decided consciously, I sat on the edge of my bed and I'm like, let me get enlightened, whatever that may be. And soon after that, Swamiji came on YouTube, and then after that, a couple of weeks later, I heard that there was a temple in LA, which is where I was living at the time, and so I decided to go check it out because I knew they were trying to start a university there, or they're starting a university there, and that seemed interesting to study yoga. But the moment that I entered the temple, just the energy of the place, I fell in love. I had never experienced something like that from being somewhere. Like, I've experienced things internally, but never by being in a space like that. And it's very auspicious actually that I'm here for this topic, because I never thought I would be devoted to anything. Bhakti to me, it seems so foreign. I was very, very, very intellectual, very logic based, and to me, I never thought that would be me now. But I remember consciously I asked Swamiji, give me devotion. I want to know what that is. And he did. And I feel like it's taken me on an intense journey, and it just gets strengthened more and more. And yes, definitely the stories that other devotees share, you can feel the space in which they were in at that time while they were telling the story. It's like you go back in time and you're kind of living it with them energetically. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Franco. Such a beautiful sharing. Yes, actually, I also feel the same way. When a story is narrated, or when you listen to a story and someone is narrating, it's not just something which like age-old tales of Puranas, but even, a fellow disciple or fellow devotee, when they narrate or share an experience they had with Swamiji, it's like you're also living that same experience along with them. Yes, that's such a very beautiful point. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you so much for your sharing. So we also have Murli joining us from Chennai, India. Please go ahead and introduce yourself for all the viewers.
Thank you, Maharaj. Murali from Chennai here. I have been with Swamiji from way back in 2013. And it was through an inner awakening program that I got introduced to Swamiji. Though now looking back, I somehow very strangely feel that I have known Swamiji even before that. And it has been a very memorable journey since then, because a lot of miracles have happened, and I have shared some here in the previous Vakyas and the sessions. As on date, I have chosen teaching and training as my profession. Prior to which also I was in the education field, but in a different line. And after coming to Swamiji, I realized a lot of blind spots that I had in my life. And I was very proud that I'm a very highly intellectual person, very logical person. And Swamiji in one of his satsangs said, life before Guru may be logical, but life after Guru is very magical. And I'm able to see how this is not just a punchline, but actually an experience. Yes, life after Guru is indeed magical. I learned many things which I did not know before, including the meaning of purpose of many Hindu rituals, and how exactly the very term that Swamiji uses is very amazing, interesting, and it only introduces more curiosity into me to understand its fully. He said science of prayer. Swamiji uses science of prayer. So what exactly is prayer? Why? How it should be done, so that you ensure that you are not disappointed. So all these things are those very recent phenomenon. Relatively recently, he used this term as compared to from when I'm with him. It still makes a lot of sense. And in that inner awakening program that I got introduced to him, I saw many of my own blind spots, and he introduced a totally new me to me, and that was nice. And let me share some specific instances in some answer to the questions here. Because if I say something more in detail about my profit and all that, I think we'll be digressing and I will be wasting my time. So thank you for this opportunity, Swamiji, and thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Aya, for joining, coming and joining us here today. Yes. So coming back to the topic of today's Vakya Saddhas, let's now enter into the Vakya Saddhas. When you listen to a story of a guru-disciple relationship, how are you also put into that space of Guru Bhakti? Which story has strengthened your Guru Bhakti personally? So I think one of the biggest stories which have impacted, which really clicked with me the most, was this story Ramayana, where they would. It's a pretty long story, but the essence is finally finally a battle ensues between Rama and his devotee Hanuman. So all of us, many of us may or may not know Hanuman, but Hanuman is considered to be one of the greatest devotees in Hinduism. He has even gone to the extent of doubted about his integrity and about his devotion to Lord Rama and Devi Sita. He ripped open his chest, and in his heart, everyone could see that it was only Rama and Sita. Literally, their image, their form was residing in his heart. His whole chest and in his Anandagandha, his whole being was just filled with Rama. So he was such a devoted devotee of Lord Rama. And in course of the story, what happens is, for various reasons, Hanuman offers protection to someone, and offers protection to someone from another person. The other person goes to Lord Rama and gets his help. Both these people, what they have done is, only after getting the promise from Hanuman and from Lord Rama, only then they even told what they wanted. So Hanuman promised this devotee, whatever may come, I'll protect you. And then the person who was after this person, it was not devotee, it was Yaksha. So someone was after Yaksha, and Hanuman offered protection to the Yaksha. And the person who was after this Yaksha went to Lord Rama for help. Lord Rama promised, saying that I will get it to you. And so after that, Hanuman starts getting frightened when he learns that the person who is after this Yaksha, Lord Rama himself, is coming to help him. So he doesn't know what to do, and he gets very confused and anxious. One side, his integrity to the commitment which he gave to protect him. The other side, he doesn't want to fight his own guru, his own Ishtadevata, Rama. But Rama comes, and Rama says, Hanuman, either you surrender before me and hand the Yaksha over, otherwise he'll have to face me in combat. Hanuman, tied to his integrity, didn't. He said, whatever may come, this is my situation, but I cannot hand over the Yaksha to you. That is my commitment which I have given. So Hanuman, not knowing what to do, he was so perturbed and very confused about the whole thing. So whenever he is in any problem, he does what he always does. He just chants the Rama Nama. In any problem, any situation in his life, whether he's happy, whether he's sad, Hanuman just starts chanting the Rama Nama. So in this situation as well, Hanuman starts chanting Rama's name continuously. After some time, when Rama understood that Hanuman is not going to submit himself, he starts shooting arrows after arrows. But all the arrows go and land in Hanuman's feet. Some arrows go, transform themselves, and become flower garlands for Hanuman. Rama will be very surprised, and he won't understand what's going on. And then correctly, as perfect as ever, Narada comes in the correct timing and explained to Rama that it is not your astras which are at fault, but it is the devotion of Hanuman. The power of the name he's chanting is more powerful than the person who uses the name itself. The name Rama, the name of Rama, is more than just his name. When you take the concept which Narada was explaining, it is the power of Hanuman's devotion. The power of his devotion was such where even the master himself could not interfere in the devotee's life. Rama's name was even more powerful than Rama himself. Rama himself was not able to do anything to his own devotee who was chanting and seeking his refuge. So this is a very beautiful story which which really had impacted me, where your devotion to the Guru is more stronger than the Guru itself. Another story which was told when I attended the Kalpataru program a couple of years back. One person had decided to achieve enlightenment, and he was sitting in a forest, and he decided the next person who crosses my path, I will declare him as my Guru, and I will fall at his feet, and I will achieve moksha through him. So the next person who crossed his path was a robber, was a thief who was trying to escape from the police at the time. So this person, he grabs that robber's feet and says, "You are my Guru now. Please instruct me what I should do. Please lead me on the spiritual path." The robber will become so irritated with this distraction and obstruction of this person. He just kicks him and says, "Just sit here for the rest of your life." And he goes off. So that person, he just sits. He sits. And by the next time, after a couple of years, when the robber crosses the same path, that same person is enlightened. So even the person who gave the order, who gave the disciple, just gave him the instruction to just sit there. He was neither a guru, he was not even spiritual to begin with. He was just a robber. But the power of the devotee, power of the disciple, and the power of their integrity to Guru Vak, and integrity to what they have cognized, that this is my path, I have to be completely integrated to it, and whatever may come, I will follow it. That integrity was what gave him enlightenment. His master was not enlightened. His master was not even looking towards this path of spirituality. But his integrity to the Guru, his integrity to the Guru Vak, to that powerful cognition, that alone was enough to give him enlightenment. So these are some of the stories which have personally impacted me. And after listening to them, I understood the strength of Guru Bhakti, where in both these cases, the strength of Guru Bhakti was even more powerful than the Guru themselves. It is like how Swamiji explained in the video we saw earlier. All this Puranas, everything is a subjective reality. Anything you believe, anything which puts you into a powerful space is a subjective reality. Anything which does not put you in a powerful space, it is incompletion. It is as simple as that. When you listen to the Bhagavatam, and when you get into that space, bhava of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, when you listen to Ramayana and you get into the bhava of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, having them as your cognitions, having them as your ideals, when you click and have the feeling connection with them, they become subjective reality. And anything else, anything which is putting you into an incompletion, any truth, any cognition, any which puts you into incompletion, those are just labeled actions. So these are some of the stories, and this is how I view where even has in these stories, how even the disciple was on opposite camps with the master. But by the strength of his Guru Bhakti, he prevailed. It's the same way. The stories which we listen, all of them have the strength in its own way, like how the Guru Bhakti does. Guru Bhakti is a strength unto itself. It's a living entity. It has consciousness. The Guru Bhakti has consciousness. And the Guru Bhakti alone is powerful enough to bring us to the space of Guru, bring us to the space of ultimate, bring us to the space of Advaita. When you listen to a story of how a Guru-disciple relationship, how are you also put in the space of Guru Bhakti? Because the Guru Bhakti is the consciousness unto itself. Listening to that stories of that Guru Bhakti naturally puts you into the space of Guru Bhakti as well. So this is my take on today's topic of the stories of the Guru-disciple relationships, how they impact and how they strengthen an individual's Guru Bhakti. Sri Nithyananda, maybe you can go ahead and you can share your take on the topic. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, it's mean, there's a lot of things I probably would, I feel like some of the things is the sort of the science, like was mentioned earlier when Ezekiel and Murli shared about logic. And so the sort of the science of consciousness is what's missing. So sort of humanity is missing that. Yeah, so I just like one of the sort of common stories, I suppose, is that that I feel is quite prominent actually is the situation of Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru of the Sikhs, who was beheaded in 1675 as there was resistance to sort of Mughal oppression and genocide. And so he and 3 of his disciples were basically tortured for a number of weeks in public and dismembered and paraded in public. And so anyway, so it's based, and so it's just sort of the a lot of the sort of propaganda that comes around today is about you know, teaching that Tamils are not part of the Vedic civilization, you know, and Jains are not, you know, Jains are not part of Vedic civilization, and Sikhs are not part of Vedic civilization. So this is kind of some of the brainwashing that goes on. So yeah, so you know, and then even just you know, seeing the ways that you know, people have reacted, like even the in 1947, the Mirpur massacre of killing the thousands of Hindus and Sikhs. So one of the sort of more sort of well-known, you know, instances of Guru and disciples is with Guru Tegh Bahadur. And so, you know, there's pictures of them being boiled alive and being held in a cage and basically cut to pieces over a number of days. And so basically there was just oppression and genocide going on, which sort of the invasions had by this time spanned about 700 years. And so, you know, the sort of, a lot of the Hindu population was suffering a lot, the Vedic civilization people. And so a group of people got together and realized that there was this imposition of jizya tax and further oppression and destruction of the lives of the people of Bharat, and went to Guru Tegh Bahadur and said, we need to do something. And so he became a leader, saying that he would that he would not, you know what, he would not be a victim of forced conversion, and that he was willing to give his life. So yeah, so that is what, it's actually one of the more sort of commonly referred to instances in the more recent past, even, of how disciples respond and how gurus lead and what is the relationship, because every guru, you know, even, you know, shares about their guru, whether it's Shiva or the previous guru or Devi or whoever they are experiencing as their guru. They are completely surrendered, renounced, integrated to that. So yeah, so that's something that I remember, because you see a lot of pictures of Guru Tegh Bahadur, and he's being boiled alive, and or him and his disciples, and you just kind of think, wow, what a tapas they did, what a tyaga they did. They were threatened with all sorts of violence, and in the face of sort of you know, a great oppression, destroying many lives and oppressing many people. And they stood up, not like knowing that they'd be victorious, but knowing that they didn't have to renounce or tell a lie about life. They didn't have to lie about the reality of their life and their connection to consciousness. They didn't have to lie for like the social pressures. They didn't have to lie in the face of violence. So they weren't willing to tell a lie about life just to be accepted for society, but they were established in such a space of connection with the truth and source of their life that they were able to surrender the body at any time. So that's something I just feel is like, it's very inspirational. And it's, in a certain sense, it's rare for people to know about these kind of stories, but as recent, even in the recent past until now, even the Sikh population, of course, the Hindu population has been under intense genocide for a millennia. So that is sort of when we see like, wow, even the Guru was willing to walk to his, what people would perceive as his death, to be an example, to show that it's not, there's no reason to lie about the truth of our existence. And so just seeing those images and remembering him, and there was a whole community, there's a whole community there. And he had great disciples. So it's like, if really, even as Hindus, it's not that we have to die, but we need to, not even from the space of violence, but we need to stand up. We need to have that. We need to know that it's the greatest, and not to put down any other tradition, but it's the only ancient civilization that's still alive. So we need to know that it's worth saving and it's needed, and it's worth giving your life for, not in the sense of dying, but it's worth putting your life, your time and energy into life, and sacrificing that connection to our life and peaceful powerfulness. It's not worth giving that up for anything. So whatever it is, however it is, we need to find a way to continue, to live what is life. So that's been the experience, the connection that I've gotten from Swamiji's initiations, right, is beyond the space of logic. How can a guru do that? How can someone live like that? So that has been, that I feel is one of the sort of more popular imagery in the recent history of Hinduism and Bharat, is the example of Guru Tegh Bahadur and how the people rallied around him and went to him for leadership. And he stood on the strength of his own spiritual strength. So just that is sort of what the humanity is missing, is the connection to the actual spiritual strength, not just as a word. So yeah, so I would share those kind of things anyway, but thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Sriniti Nyanatmanda. Those points are actually very valid. Even to know how much the Sikhs, how much other sampradayas of Hinduism, how much they have sacrificed to keep Hinduism alive, that itself is enough to strengthen and bring a new Guru Bhakti inside of you. Guru Bhakti towards keeping, not just towards your master, but keeping the whole tradition alive and maintaining this tradition for the next generations to come. Even the persecution which we went through, listening to the stories of how for the past 800 years of violence and war and 200 years of brainwashing, how all of that is so much in effect, and listening to how even during such crisis moments, how the Sikhs, especially Sampradaya itself, was formed for the sake of protecting Hinduism. And listening to those stories, the stories of Sikhs, the stories of Guru Nanak, of how they protected Hinduism, and how what they have contributed, that whatever left of Hinduism is a part of their contribution as well. Listening to these stories also have give a special Guru Bhakti and special strength to you as well. Thank you so much, Sri Nithyananda, for your sharing. Next, Mulya, you can go ahead, Ayya, and share your take on this question. When you listen to a story of a Guru-disciple relationship, how are you also put into that space of Guru Bhakti? Which story has strengthened your Guru Bhakti personally? Please go ahead, Ayya.
Thank you for this, Maharaj. See, as I was saying during my introduction, I was actually a very logical, intellectual kind of person, and I was very proud of that also. And it is during the inner awakening that actually my logic got deflated, my ego got punctured, and Swamiji made me realize there is a much larger, deeper world out there which is way beyond my logic. And Hinduism is multi-dimensional, is something that I had an understanding even before I met Swamiji, but he made me understand it experientially, so he strengthened that cognition inside me. So if I had been that previous self, I would have been able to maybe single out one experience which says that this is what strengthened my cognition, this is what strengthened my Guru Bhakti with Swamiji. But today, after that awakening, after being with Swamiji today, and blending Swamiji's teachings and my original self, I will say that I have come to respect every person's individual experience as something that could strengthen Guru Bhakti in a person. I'm not able to single out any one particular experience, not able to single out one particular incident which actually strengthens my Guru Bhakti. Actually, I am now fascinated to listen to everybody's stories. I am very interested in knowing the subjective truths, subjective realities of many people in their lives, and I enjoy them as my own. When I listen to different people, I just enjoy everybody's experience as my own. And every time I listen to somebody, I listen with a fresh mind, like as though that he is the first person after myself. I'm going to listen to what Guru Bhakti meant for in somebody's life. To that level, I have come now. I'm enjoying everybody's experience very in a very alive way. I'm actually prepared to travel with them when they have gone through that. So, like that, I have come. Even in my own case, I will say that I am enjoying that replenishing, refreshing Guru Bhakti. Every time some materializes, some Vibhuti materializes, or some other miracle like that happens. So it's difficult for me to single out any one particular experience. Everything is miraculous in its own way. And because and during my inner awakening program, the then coordinator, Manisha, she was talking about some previous experience, like an old devotee was declaring herself as God, incarnation and all that. After coming to Swamiji, and she started misusing Swamiji's name. And suddenly she started facing the karma for that. Like from nowhere, suddenly stones started pelting into her house, and she realized that it was her arrogance and abusing of Swamiji's powers that had resulted in this. So she had just come to Swamiji to surrender and ask for his pardon. And Swamiji said, like, I will clear the karma, and she was surrendered. But the powers which she initially exuded because of coming to Swamiji were no more expressing, but she was happy that the curse was gone. And all the negative element on the stone pelting and other such suffering that had happened in her life was gone. and Swamiji had still accepted her. So if you ask me what exactly strengthens my Guru Bhakti, I will say that this trait, I think it's a very shallow term for what I can use with a Guru, this trait by which a Guru forgives you, accepts you when you are truly surrendering, I think is strengthening my Guru Bhakti. A person who is so arrogant, a person who is so supposedly intellectual and logical and all that, even such a person is willing to, a Guru is willing to take and say, you are still my disciple. And that happens, I will say, is because the Guru's logic, the Guru's way of looking at life, everything is much deeper. He is strengthened on, Guru stands on the ultimate truth. And so he is able to see the shallowness of the human logic, the human mental way of looking at things, human logic way of things, the mundane way of looking at things. So that's a much deeper perspective. And so it is that deeper cognition of life, his standing on the ultimate truth, and so his ability to see how anything will anyway fall in front of where he stands, in front of what he stands for, in front of what he means to do for me, even without me saying yes to it, in a way. Only my readiness is the one that is standing in front of, that is standing in the way of his happening in my life. To that extent, the Guru is so compassionate, and so I have to do it immediately. That Guru stance, like what I said yesterday, I have nothing to gain from you, only you have to gain from me. That stance of the Guru, the stance of the Guru that he is all there for you, I think that trait of the Guru is what strengthens me, however much I throw tantrums and move away from him, because he is there for me and only I am not saying yes to him. So it's I who has to complete, and there's nothing for him to do anything more. So that behavioral trait of the Guru, I think, is what is keeping me alive and my Guru Bhakti alive. So otherwise, if you want to talk about any experience of another Guru-disciple relationship, whether it be Prabhupada or Arjuna to Krishna or any other Guru to our own Swamiji, I'm not able to name any one particular Guru, any one particular disciple relationship like that. It is the Guru for what he is, that itself is strengthening my Guru Bhakti for my Guru, is what I will say. I think I made my point clear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Murli Ayya. Ayya, your sharing was very nice, and I had a click from your sharing. But I want you to narrate one incident, one story, one thing which personally strengthened your Guru Bhakti. What is one subjective truth which you still carry today, and it's still a subjective truth for you? Listening to the story again and again, it brings you back to the space of Guru Bhakti, and it strengthens your own Guru Bhakti.
Can I have time to think?
Yes, yeah, please go ahead. In the meantime,
yeah,
when you yes, yeah, please take your time. Guru Bhakti is something which you need to experience with the Guru. It's not something which you can have all by yourself. Even if the story is everything we've heard of, the Guru was still actively involved. In Hinduism, we have the mantra Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi. And a little bit continuation of that mantra is not just about the mutual understanding between the teacher and the disciple. Finally, the disciple becoming the teacher for the teacher. And that is actually where the mantra concludes in. That is one of the things which I was reminded during Mulya sharing. And so even though Guru Bhakti is the intelligence and it is a conscious intelligence unto itself. It is independent intelligence by itself. Still, the guru is needed. And the best way to experience Guru Bhakti, the best way to nurture your Guru Bhakti is come and attend the Paramashivam program. It is an ongoing program now, but we have a program which Swamiji personally will be conducting starting from March 11th. More details about the program, you can visit Paramashivoham.org. Let's now watch a small video about the Paramashivam program. Please stay tuned.
The time is right. The world is ready. You are going to experience literally Paramashiva. Most powerful, intangible but definitive, intense processes. This is the most powerful spiritual nuclear explosion, the strong force of KAILASA landing on planet Earth directly. One thing I can be sure, you will not exist end of the program. I can guarantee that. Only Paramashiva will be there.
That's all. We were listening to Mulli Ayya now. Ayya, please go ahead, Ayya.
Thank you, Maharaj. See, I never realized this until somebody told me. They were all, even before this, I had actually been asked by many people about how they had a very strong connection with Swamiji. They felt greatly connected and all that. I never realized this. Because, as I said during my previous sessions, Swamiji woke me up during my sleep on the day of the inner awakening, my first day of the inner awakening. Like even before the so-called connection happened, even before meeting, even before seeing Swamiji face to face for the first time, he woke up me during my sleep, and the way he asked me, "What are you here for? Why are you waking?" I remember arguing with him. When so many people are sleeping, why are you waking up? And he asked me, I don't forget others. Why are you here? What are you here for? So that I think, and that was such a solid experience. And I'm not able to, even now, when I think back, I'm not able to think how it was so real and it was a dream or something. So that is one strong thing, experience, I will say. And the way he gave me Vibhuti, that was really, really profound. What strengthened my bhakti, I can say. And the way he gave the Vibhuti packets multiplied, I very distinctly remember he gave me only 3 sachets, and I very distinctly remember that it multiplied to 6 when I went back to my home. And this is one instance. And another instance is the somewhere close to that incident is the way he showed me KAILASA. When I sat in meditation, asking me to show what is only your love penetrating me and coming back to you. Nothing, there's no love from me to you. What is that? So please show me that. When I asked that and sat in meditation, the way he witnessed Vibhuti on my chest and the way he showed me KAILASA then. It was such an intense experience. And I actually, when I think back, I understood what he meant by this vertical time zone, because at that, the chronological time, the earthly chronological time during which I went to this experience was somewhere around half an hour to 40 minutes, or at the most 45 minutes. but it seemed like a much larger, much what more amount of time than just 40 minutes. It was so intense, and it was his presence was so heavily felt that I couldn't approach my own almirah. Like something was pushing me back. When I tried to open my almirah, when I put my hand to open the almirah, something was pushing me back, and I didn't understand what it was. And then when I opened the almirah, I found that Vibhuti had got smeared even on my shirt and pant. So his presence was so heavy, and I'm very happy that he had answered my prayers like that, and he intensified my devotion to him, or feeling connection with him. And I even now thinking of that, I'm really very it gives me goosebumps. And it was and I also had a death experience in my own room. Like he gave me death experience as an initiation during my enriching program. But apart from that, I had got my own death experience also. I don't know how it happened. Suddenly one fine morning it happened. During one Sunday afternoon, lazy Sunday afternoon, I felt that experience. So many instances have happened where my bhakti to him, Guru Bhakti, was strengthened towards Swamiji. So all these instances feel that his intelligence is still there alive with me. In fact, when I started doing the Guru Puja, when I started doing the Pratyaksha Father Puja every day, I used to see him dancing. I used to see him doing Bharatanatyam around me. I don't know how or why, but it was so nice. All his, the way he showed this Bharatanatyam gestures, he used to dance around me. He used to celebrate my doing puja is what I felt, I used to feel. And that was also nice. So all these instances actually strengthening my feeling connection with him. I think I've answered. Like it's not a logical thing. Though I'm just saying it afterwards, it's not a logical thing. It's really I'm not unable to put it in a very in a way that other people also relate to it. This is the best thing I can do for the considering that time constraint. Thank you for giving me time, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Aya, for sharing. And we'd like to thank all the other panelists as well. To thank Srinitini Anantmananda and Ezekiel Franco, both of you, for joining today for the Vakya Satas. Why I insisted Murliya to share an experience and not just why he thinks, what his thoughts are about it, is because when you share your thoughts, when you share your opinions, you are fundamentally doing exactly that. You're sharing your thoughts and you're sharing your opinions. But when you narrate your experience and when you share any story, if you take any story, the end of the story, you are also in that space. So part of this Vakya is more than just discussing. It is more about putting ourselves and putting the rest of the panel as well as our listeners in the space of Guru Bhakti. And it's more like really in a practical application, showing that Guru Bhakti is much more powerful than just you sitting and trying to have a feeling connection with the master. As Swamiji beautifully says, the feeling connection with the master starts from the master himself. The love which he flows into us, that goes into us and turns back and becomes love towards the Guru. It's the same when we share experiences and stories about Guru-disciple relationships and about the Guru Bhakti and how it has manifested in different people's lives. It speaks for itself. It speaks volumes, and more than how much you can do to convince a person about Guru Bhakti, more than how you can speak how much ever you want, and that person may be someone as close to you as your mother or your maybe your child, or that person may be someone who is a complete stranger. But at least as per me, the best way to enrich them, give them the experience of Guru Bhakti is to share stories of Guru Bhakti, either from your own life or from the life of great masters, great personalities from our Puranas and from our scriptures. So again, we'd like to thank all of you, the rest of the panel, for coming and joining and being a part of today's Vakya Satas. It's time now to prepare ourselves to receive Swamiji for Nitya Satsang. Please sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and bring your awareness into your Ananda Gandha. Visualize Swami sitting there in your Ananda Gandha as Paramashiva with the 25 heads and 50 hands. Now, allowing the mantra to reverberate throughout your entire body, start chanting the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.